Go live on Instagram. Hello, everybody. Hold on. Go live. What am I connecting to? There we go. And minimize. Hey, everybody. It is me. Oh my gosh, my head looks so big. Hey, it's me. I'm back. Yay! I'm back from Safari. Oh my gosh, it has been really hard to get back into the swing of things and all that jazz. I don't even know what's going on. What day is it? I know it's Tuesday. It's just bobbins are falling. It's been crazy. We got back. God, it's almost been a week, and I feel like it was yesterday. I still we spent most of the weekend on the couch. I think what time did we do? We must have got back on Thursday. We landed on Thursday, and then we got home Thursday night at like 10:30 p.m. And then we finally got around. I had a doctor's appointment Friday morning. So I had to be home for that. And then we went to sleep. Thank you all for following my journey. If you were following along with the safari over on Facebook and Instagram, if you weren't, you should. Adam's so fun. It was so amazing. So we're talking safari today because that's all I've done. I actually haven't even plugged in any of the machines. I've barely been in here. You know what I did? The only thing I've done in the sewing room is I changed my what is this called? Oh my gosh, I'm brain dead. I'm brain dead right now. Filter. I changed my filter in my Laura Star. Have I even plugged it in? No, but it has a new filter, so that's great. Trip was amazing. For those of you, I've been getting asked what did you do? How did you do it? You know, who did you go through? So here's the story. Oh my gosh, my eyes have been so itchy today. Here's the story. First off, if you are interested, the people we went through is kenyasafari.us. I will link them in the comments because they were fantastic. Now, that's their About Us page. Whatever, you can read about them. So Ravi, who is the owner operator of Kenya Safari, he is a high school friend to one of my friends and a handy quilter retailer up in Snohomish. My friends in Snohomish, excuse me, Debbie. And so they're high school friends. So who went? Why did we go? I was talking to Debbie last year, and Bryce is watching me too. Thanks. Bryce, I just saw the text. I hope your mom's doing good. Everybody, if you're a prayers people, prayers for Bryce's mom. But I sent Debbie a text last year because they also sell Bernina machines, and they went on a Bernina trip. And I said, oh my gosh, how was Bernina trip? She said, it was great. You should come on a safari with us. I was like, oh my gosh, let me ask Ben. I didn't think Ben was going to say yes. And he did say yes, but he said, is this a real thing, or was she just being nice? And so then I was texting Debbie. I'm like, are you just being nice, or do you really want us to come? And she said, no, you should really come. And so there's a back and forth of me being the middleman. And all I knew at the time was it was Debbie's friend and they were going on safari. So great. Fast forward, we say yes. And we get all of our stuff ready. We splurged on tickets. So we flew business class. We flew Qatar. So we went through Qatar. We had basically an 8-hour and a 10-hour layover in Doha, which that airport is amazing. Oh my gosh. There was an indoor park. We had lounge access, so we got to take showers. It was great. Hi, Mick. Hey, Bill. Mickey, say hi to Bill. So it was fantastic. His business is kenyasafari.us. I was trying to ask him things well, what if I didn't come with friends who knew you? What do they do? So we were in a Jeep. Jeeps full of 6. The thing with his name's Ravi. Ravi actually lives in Southern California, but does a bunch of stuff over in Africa. He heads the Cheetah Project, and he was part of an elephant project, like all of these things to collect data and such. And I think, let me see if the Cheetah Project is the Cheetah Project is a what 501c3 whatever. I think, I don't even know, but I'll see if I can find. I'll post some stuff in my Facebook too. But it's called Serendipity and Travel Safaris. And so he had already got our drivers for us. He had done everything, booked our rooms. We didn't have to do anything. All we had to do was get there. There was emails before, like, when are you coming, pick up. It happened to be that everybody kind of met up in Doha because we were all coming from different places. So everybody met up at the Doha airport, and then we all flew to Kenya together. And then he was there to pick us up. So there was a family of 5, and then there was another car of 4. And so he picked us up. The Jeeps, they're Land Rovers. The Land Rovers will sit up to 6. I think. I don't think they ever put someone in the front seat. I don't. Well, I guess it would have been fine. Our driver, Albert, would have been fine to sit up next to. I actually really liked Albert. He made the trip even better than it could have been. But if you are thinking of going on one, we had 4 in our Jeep, 5 sometimes. It would have been hard we said it would have been hard to have 6, only because the 6th seat was where we kept all of our bags. We had 2 people that had really nice cameras. So they had camera bags and their extra lenses, and we had snack bags and things like that. So, but you could have definitely done it with 6. The tops pop up so you can stand out and take pictures and do all that and see all the stuff. Now, for those of you who've never been on a safari, if you're like me, you think, oh, you have to drive around and find animals and like you're never going to see anything. You have to be really, no. We saw, it's the one animal, I can't remember its name, but we saw it at the gates to the park. So you're going basically in a national park. We went to the Masai Mara. So it's not a national park because it's owned by the Mara, it's a county, like it's owned by Mara County, whatever. So, but we went to the Masai Mara. It's not like fenced. The animals can go wherever they want at all times, but to get in the Jeeps, like you go through gates, and the drivers actually are paying to get your admission and everything. It's like you're going to a park. At one part, we were 1 foot in the Masai Mara, 1 foot in the Serengeti, because depending on what country you're in, if you're in Kenya, you're on the Masai Mara side. If you're in Tanzania, you're in the Serengeti. That was cool. But if you want to know, we were really nowhere because so they have the line. So like we'll say this. I was gonna say this is the property line, Kenya, Tanzania, and I was standing like this, and there's signs like don't cross. But what we were talking to the driver, and the driver said, actually, the boundaries don't start. That from that line, if you walk this way 5 steps, now you're in the Masai Mara, you're in Kenya. If you walk this way 20 steps, it's not feet, it's steps, then you're in the Serengeti. So we were actually, he's like, you guys were in no man's land. You were like not in a country. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. But it's also fun thinking you were in both places, so whatever. But yeah, as soon as we got in, we saw a giraffe like sitting there eating, didn't care. I don't understand how people hunt this stuff because like they're not scared of you, so I like that's not fun. But it was amazing. So day 1, they picked us up at the airport. We stayed the night in Nairobi, went to a mall, found a quilt shop. Did I buy anything? No. Did I buy anything? I think I was just shell shocked. I bought bottles of water. But it was just like, oh my gosh, like we made it. Ben didn't make it. We were so tired. Oh my gosh, it's a 30-hour travel. Um, but so that was day one. Then did we go out to dinner that night? Oh, that's the night we went out to Carnivore. So it was a place. Um, Mickey, I did get you something. I'll have to talk and see which one you want. But so we went to Carnivore, and that's where they feed you meat. It was great for the vegetarian Ben. They actually had a vegetarian option, so Ben was fine. They made this drink called, what was it called? I want to say boba, but that is not right. And there's actually, I was getting a bunch of videos from Debbie yesterday. It is called, I have a video. It's called Dawa. And so we're sitting, there's there's 11 people. Yeah, there's 11 people at dinner. And the guy comes and stands right behind me to make drinks. He's making this dawa. They called it the medicine. And when you have something happening right behind you and everybody's watching and you're just sitting there, it's very awkward. Well, Debbie took a video of me being awkward. So let me see. Make it big. Stop. There we go. Here's me being awkward, not knowing what to do as he's making the drink. I don't know what Ben's eating, but it must have been vegetarian. But I didn't know what to do. So I turn around for a minute, but then my back started hurting. I'm like, nobody wants your back to hurt. That's so stupid. But we were laughing after that because I was like, I can't believe you recorded me not knowing what to do and just being like awkward Adam. But we did there. It was so funny. I'm very confused. The washing machine just went off. I haven't started laundry. Ben's been doing laundry, so I'm doing laundry today. But it was like a Brazilian steakhouse. They just come by and like, oh, would you like ostrich meatballs? Here you go. Would you like crocodile? Here you go. Would you like chicken? I'll take chicken. I'll take turkey. Like, I wasn't very adventurous. I didn't want to be adventurous. But it was someone in our party wanted more ostrich meatballs, but they didn't want to give him more ostrich meatballs. So every time somebody walked by, we would ask him, and then finally he ended up getting more. It was very funny. Only because we asked like 7 people, and finally the 8th person got it for us. So that was night 1. The next day we woke up bright and early, had breakfast, on the road by 7. Now Nairobi is like a 5-hour drive to the Masai Mara if you don't stop. But of course we stopped. So it took us about 6.5 hours to get to our camp. But to get to so we went through the, oh God, what did they call it? He said it's like the Grand Canyon. It wasn't like the Grand Canyon, but, the Great Rift, the Great Divide. No. Now I'm going to see if I can look it up if I zoom out and just look at Kenya. You can see it. It might be the Great Rift Valley. Whatever. We went through a valley, and I was surprised at how green it was. They were unseasonably wet, but everything was green. And their number one business is agriculture, which I would have never thought. I thought safari, everything was going to be dead and brown. No, it was lush and green and beautiful. Oh my God, I can't. I want to go back. Not yet. My stomach's still messed up. There's Nairobi. Whatever. We had to go through this big valley. It was raining the day we drove out, so we couldn't really see anything. But on the way back, it was clear. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Did I take any pictures? On the way back, I was so tired. I think I was in the back of the Jeep, just like, I want to go to sleep. What were the temperatures like? It was humid. It wasn't horribly humid, but we might have got mid 80s, highest, low 80s, maybe. One day not feeling great, but I went. I'm like, I'm not missing today. So I went anyway. I was freezing. I forgot to take a jacket. So one day people were in jackets. Cool in the morning, warmer in the afternoon. Don't pet the animals, they'll bite. Let's see. That's feeding the zebra. Where's that? That's back in Nairobi. That's Nairobi. There's actual national, like, there's a national park in Nairobi next to the airport. That's where we saw the hippo or the rhinos. Okay, that's elephants. Lion. What lion is that? We saw so many. There was a point to is like, oh, there's another giraffe. It was it was crazy. I did not take a picture. I didn't have the good camera. Well, that's of Naivasha. Oh, here. Okay, let's see how this. I was gonna make a slideshow. I didn't. So I would have never thought it was green and lush. If you Okay, so if you have fears of people driving like animals, or if you have back issues, like it's like this the whole time because they're not paved roads. So I know Debbie went to the chiropractor yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Like you get beat up. I was definitely feel like every day my watch would be like, great job working out. I wasn't working out. I was just standing up in the Jeep. So I filled all my rings for a week. I felt very proud of myself. But so day 2, we drove to the Masai Mara, found our camp. We were staying at the Zebra Plains Mara camp. Now, I am not a tent camper. I'm not a camper at all. I did that when I was young and I had enough. You should have printed them. Oh, I could do that. I'm not a camper at all. They were fancy tents, and I didn't take pictures. I was going to take pictures, but the day I was sick, everything went out the window. What was I going to say? Oh, so the whole thing is a tent. Like, so your room is all a tent, but it's like a fancy tent. So we had a queen size bed. You had basically kind of an armoire to hang everything up. You had 2 tables, a sectional, and in the bed, and then there was a bathroom. Not a real door; it was a zipper door on the bathroom, but it was a really big bathroom. It's a toilet on one side, shower on the other, dual vanities. Like, don't drink the water, which I think is why everybody got sick. Lisa, you're with me. We were the only ones that were in the like glamping the only ones that this happened to, but our water stopped working while we were in the shower. So it would go down to a trickle because there was like, they would get air bubbles. It was still hot water, but it just stopped. So at one day I was like sitting like this for 5 minutes, just like trickle. So those were the last 2 days that we were there. And we were like we're over the tents. Surprisingly, not a lot of bugs in the tent. Not a lot of bugs in the tent. We did have there was a spider issue. Good thing I have Ben. And I found like 2 other bugs the whole time we were there. So that wasn't bad. They eat outside for everything, which I guess when you're like eating and looking at zebras, like that's fun. But when it's dark and you can't see the zebras anymore and the lights are on, and then you have huge moths flying around, not so much fun. It actually made it fun because it was like, who's dodging and weaving? Who's going to get hit by the big beetle today? So there was a lot of that. That's day 1. I'm trying to find, I have a picture of the moth on my leg. So like big, because that's my knee. Wait, that's my knee. So that's how big that moth is. Whatever. It is what it is. We did see a locust that was like a good 4 inches big. It was huge. It was so big that when it jumped, because it got caught in one of the curtains, the whole curtain would shift. And I'm like, yeah, this is like Jurassic Park. But we saw zebras and giraffe and gazelle and lions and cheetahs and blah blah blah. Like it's the give and take, right? It's the payoff. So I told Ben, or Ben and I were talking one day, and I said, even this being how crazy it is, I wouldn't give it up because of what we're being able to do, what we're seeing, and all that stuff. Um, I'm looking at this quilt behind me and I'm like, oh, I could have made those blocks different. Um, what else? So that was we're not even finished with day two. So day two, we got there, we had lunch. All the meals were provided. It was a set menu. You had choice of protein A or B or vegetarian. And then you had two dessert options every night, and a starter, which was usually soup. A big Indian influence in the foods. So if you're vegetarian and you don't like Indian food, make sure they know that, because Ben on day 3 had a little bit of a meltdown and it was like, I can't eat this anymore. They made him pasta. So they were very good at and accommodating for things, which was nice. So we ate lunch, got situated in our cabins, and then we went out for like the afternoon safari. So I think we left at 3 and came back at 6. That day we saw Pride of Lions, just hanging out and sleeping. And again, I thought we were going to be driving around trying to hunt these things. No, there's the Pride of Lions. There were like 15 Jeeps around them, people taking pictures. They didn't care. I think every animal we saw, we were able to see pooping. So that was fun. It was the little joke, like there's another pooper. I think we have pictures of most of them. Just because you're taking pictures, they don't care. They poop. So I think we're going to print off the pictures of the different animals pooping and send them to our friends. Because then you can put them in the bathroom. I think it'd be funny. Maybe I'm just weird. But we did see a Pride of Lions. We saw a cheetah that day. So I think day 1, we saw lions, cheetah, giraffes, elephants from afar, nothing close, zebra, and then all of the like gazelle and topies and all of those things. Warthogs we saw right at the bat. Hyenas we saw really quick. So it was like we saw almost everything. We never saw a leopard, which everybody's like, that's the hardest one to see. So we never got to see the leopard. Rhinos we saw the last day because we had to go to a different park. But it was, oh my gosh, it was just so amazing. I really like birds, like to look at them and stuff. So day 2, so like that's day 1. We got back, we had dinner, we went to sleep. Basically, you eat, safari, sleep. No, eat again and then sleep. Because breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So there's a lot of eating and a lot of sleeping and a lot of safari, a lot of this. One thing about for most of the places that we were in Kenya, those bathrooms are anywhere you go, the bathrooms are so clean. For those of you in Texas that have Buc-ee's or anywhere that you go to Buc-ee's because they have nice bathrooms, Buc-ee's, the whole country is Buc-ee's. Doha Airport, the whole airport is Buc-ee's. Oh my gosh, the cleanest bathrooms I've ever been in. They're so clean that like you go to the bathroom and as you're walking out the door, someone's walking in to clean it after everybody. What's up, America? Where did I go yesterday? Today? Did I leave today? Oh, I went to the movies yesterday, walked in the bathroom. There wasn't even anybody in there. And it's the movies. Nobody goes to the movies on a Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. On a Monday in the middle of the day. Oh my gosh, it was horrible, disgusting. So that was day 1. Day 2, we did a long safari. So we got up, we were in the Jeeps at 7:30. We got back at like 3:30 or 4. All day. It was a very long day. And then basically the rest of the evening we had at the camp. But there we're doing different drives around. The first day we had to go over this bridge. Do I have a picture of the bridge? I do have a picture of the water, I think. Driving in, that is on the bridge. Well, you can't see the bridge with it, but this is the bridge. This is the water just right under the bridge. A few hours after we passed, because of the rain, you couldn't get over the bridge anymore. So like we went out one way. Um, oh, the eagle grabbing the fish was like day 7. But so day 2, we went back over the bridge because we could get back over the bridge that day, and did the long drive. Saw lots of elephants that day. Got to a part of the park where like you kind of had to drive and hunt. The nice thing is that because the top's open, you know, nobody's wearing seat belts, but there's like, it's not like you're going crazy. I did a lot of standing up. I had the binocular, so I was kind of the spotter to see what was going on. So it was nice to be able to just stand up and like fresh air and animals around. Really tall grass, like the grass was almost as tall as the truck. So I don't know what we missed because you just couldn't see it. I'm sure I saw a leopard. It was just behind a bunch of grass. But when you did see stuff, it was kind of cool. And it was just really nice to be out there. It beyond amazing. If you're ever thinking about going safari, do it. Because it was amazing. So that was day 2. We did the long ride. Day 3, we did 2 shorts. So we did one, came back, did another one. I think day 2, again, the guy who put this on, he was with us. He actually came because he's friends with the people who were coming. So he knows a lot about the cheetahs because he runs that cheetah project thing. And they call them the brothers. There's 2 cheetahs that kind of live and hunt and do everything together. And so we were on our way back, and we saw this. It's called a crown crane, and it's a crane that has like this, I call it the Virgin Mary of birds because it has this like golden crown around its head. But there was one, and I was like, oh, we want to get some pictures. He's like, no, we can't. We're running late. We got to go. And hey, Kelly, hugs. Because we were running late. Like it was already getting really late. And then the driver said, I think the suspects are up here. And the Ravi running it goes, go. So we go over there, and they're looking for these cheetahs, right? Then they call them the brothers. So we're on the road, and the weird thing is like I never expected there to be roads. I was like, oh, people just drive wherever they want. Tree 2, turn a left. But there are roads, and they have rules because it's a national park, or it's a county park, whatever. So they have rangers. And so if you go off the path, you get fined, and you get fined a lot of money. And really you don't get fined because you're going to like belly up some money and say, don't fine me. We're friends. Here's $200. Well, they knew our driver's like, they're over there. They're over there under that shrub. And so I'm binoculars. I'm like, I don't see it. And then all of a sudden you see like a tail flick like this. I'm like, oh my God, they're over there. So it was us. And then there was a van, and then our other Jeep, because we had a set of 2 Jeeps, and then another van. So he goes, I don't really know if it's $200. I just threw that number out there. But who knows? $200 there is like 2,000, but I'm sure it's probably not cheap because they're breaking a rule. But he goes, we're going out there. You get 2 minutes to take pictures, then we got to leave. So we went off the track. So you see there's like Jeep. All of a sudden ours turns. So everybody turns. And then there's another one coming from way over here, and it turns, and it's trying to cut people off. It doesn't know what it's going to see. It doesn't know where the things are. But again, our driver was amazing. So he got us up to the twins, or the brothers. I have pictures of the brothers. Let me get a good one. It's not centered, but we just 2 cheetahs hanging out, just laying there. So it was like, go take a picture and go. Nobody got a good picture. Even mine is like this one's too far to, it's too far to one side, but mine's gonna work. So Ben's gonna edit it. But it was, oh my gosh, I can't say enough. Oh, and then we saw a group of baboons. I don't know what a group of baboons are, but they lived right on the other side of the river from the village. So we were coming back and they're like, don't show any food. The baboons will jump in the car and take the food and then like bite your face off, because baboons are not nice. And they will kill something. They will take a baby animal and then eat it. So this is the pack of baboons. This is just part of it. Walking back from the little town over the river. And some of them have babies, super cute, but like also like freaky. Ben's like, they look like pirates. Do I have one of, there's mom carrying a little baby. Oh yes, a troop of baboons. So some of them, I think this might be it. There's the baby on the back, but there's also a baby like hugging on her tummy. I don't know. Nature's amazing. So that was the end of day 2. Day 3, we got to see a pack of lions take down, or a pride of lions. We did not see it take down the Cape buffalo, but we did see it kill the Cape buffalo, which was kind of like, it's the circle of life. Luckily, we weren't there when they started tearing the Cape buffalo to shreds. So it was not bloody, but we did see a pack of, or a pride of lions. There had to be 12. I watch a lot of National Geographic, or I did before Ben. So when the lions take down the animals, one of them will put their mouth around the snout of the animal and they suffocate it. That's how they kill the prey. So we had the perfect view to watch the suffocator, and you see like the buffalo's legs kick up like this every once in a while. Again, it's sad, but the lions have to eat. And at one part I go, you guys, I think it's tickling that buffalo. It's like over there giggling to just, make it lighthearted. But they were like licking the buffalo and stuff, the lionesses, which was weird, but whatever. We also saw them later that night after they had ate. We didn't see the carcass of the buffalo, but we did see all of the lions. And let me tell you this, they're like just big cats. One of them, and again, there's Jeeps all around these things. This lion walks up from where the kill was, like down the hill. So it's over there. And I'm like, you guys, look to your left, because they're all sleeping to the right. Look to your left. Here comes this lioness, and it walks right in front of our Jeep. It doesn't even sit down. It just walks, plomp, and just plops itself down to go to sleep. I'm like, oh my gosh, so cool. And then, they're like cats. So one of them would go and just like lay right on top of one of the other ones, and then it would bug it, and then it would go bug another one. So, I can see a piece of fuzz on that quilt. I was like, is there something on my screen? So we were laughing about that. What other things? Day 3, I think we started seeing some cool birds that day. We saw the secretary bird. Ben got this great shot of a bird with a big old beetle in its mouth. And I can't remember what that bird is called, but it's like one of the prettiest ones they have there. How many more days were we there? Were there? I think we did safari 4 days. How many? Day 3. Day 4, we did another long day where we saw some hippos. We saw an alligator, or a crocodile. I didn't even take a picture of it. I'm the one who thank you for liking my storytelling. It's hard to keep on track. I'm the one who found it. I'm like, you guys, there's a gator right there. But it was the day I wasn't feeling good. I think it was day 4, and it was going to be our last day. So I think that was day 4. Again, we did a long drive. So we went out. That's the day we went to we did the Tanzania, Kenya thing. We did a little walk, and that's where we saw like It was 12 feet away from us. We were up on an embankment, so I couldn't do anything. We got to watch some hippos walk out of the water, which was cool. And then we got back to camp that night. We repacked because we were leaving. So the next day we left and we went to Naivasha Lake. Sopa. Now I got to go look what it's called. That's not the right one. I don't even we didn't see that. This must be this way. There are no street like lanes in Kenya. Let me tell you this. In Nairobi, which is their capital city, tons of cars, tons of traffic, horrible traffic. There's no street lines. People just drive and do what they want. Cars have the right of way. So if somebody's walking in front of you, you run them over and it's their fault. But you'll see people running across the freeways and stuff. And it was a madhouse, like just this and cutting people off. We saw more wrecks the 3 hours it took the 3 hours it took to drive from LAX to Ventura than we did the whole time we were in Kenya. And these people don't have streets. So it's Lake Naivasha. So on day 5, we went to Lake Naivasha. And this one is known for hippos. So hippos everywhere. I want to say they said, did they say 15,000 hippos or 150,000? I don't know. I can't remember. But literally hippos, like we walked out to the water and there were hippos there. So I'm fast forwarding. Ben's favorite animal. What is it, you ask? It's a hyena. Right. I mean, this hyena is just right off the side of the road. Just waiting for us. Oh, here's oh, wait, let me see. This is me. Don't cross. No entry. I entered. That's me. Adam's so fun right there in a nutshell. Idiot. This is Debbie's husband, Mike. He didn't want to cross, so he didn't really put his foot down. But really, you're not crossed unless you do 20 paces past that line. And it's funny because they have these signs just like this in a line, like letting people know this is Tanzania. This is the two of us. I think Ben is actually in Tanzania. See, fun. We're dumb. Don't take life too seriously. Okay, so here are the hippos. Just at this is at Lake Naivasha, and those are the hippos just right outside in the water. I think I posted that video. The little babies. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. There was a really little one, really little, and that one, and it's not this one, out in the water. But you can only like see the tips of the ears every once in a while. Oh my God, there's its head. Look at that. So cute. But yeah, we walked to the water and there they were. And then the next day, so we stayed there, we stayed the night there, did dinner. Oh yeah, we did dinner, had a real room, the worst mattress in America or in Kenya. We weren't in America. I went and I flopped down on the bed and then I'm like, oh my gosh, my back's broke. It's really funny. This is where we saw the eagle. This is where we got the eagle pictures. They were a little bit set up because our boat driver, do I have a picture of the other boat? I don't. Ben does. Oh, this is here's us in the boat. What are you talking about? There's us in the boat. Again, we had a really great driver, but he bought some tilapia from one of the local fishermen. Like they were out there fishing and he drove our boat up and got some fish. So what they would do is they would whistle to the bird, to the African fishing eagle, get their attention, throw the fish out, and then it would come down and swoop and pick it up. We got some really good bird shots. And by we, Ben got some really good bird shots that day. because this is it flying away with a fish in its hand. These are ones Ben edited already. We found out Ben is a very good wildlife photographer. So we spent the day at Naivasha. If you look at this pin, it's not a pin, but they were feeding the hippos. Where those people are standing, we could have been standing there. That is the other, like that's where we stayed the night. So it was very cool to get that close to some of this wildlife. Lots of birds, hippos that day. We did see this little I think this is a little Catholic church. It holds 8 people because it's so small. But one of the original buildings from when they had people come over. Let's see what else. We got a real room. We saw a pack of hyenas. This is the next day. So this is at Nairobi National Park. And this is the one that like you fly over when you're coming into Nairobi. It's crazy. So we didn't have window seats, but I wish I did. So those are hyenas eating what's left of the Cape buffalo that the lions didn't eat. So again, this lioness is right next to our Jeep, just laying there, checking it out, seeing what's going on. Amazing. There's me and the lioness. Hi, friend. Don't kill me. What's that? I'm not going to show you bloody pictures. I happen to have one. The rhinos, I think, might have been my favorite. I mean, I really liked the elephants, but like really that baby right there. And look at that horn. That horn, amazingly amazing. Oh my gosh, they're so big. And don't worry, we did get pictures of them pooping. I also loved when we would see giraffes like this, like, hi, I'm just hanging out over here. I'm behind the bush. You can't see me. We did go to, they had these birds. That was fun. They're pretty. We did go to a place where you could feed the giraffes. I think they call it Giraffe Manor. Nobody tell Ben that I showed you this picture. I enjoyed feeding the giraffes. Here's me in a giraffe at Giraffe Manor. Debbie enjoyed feeding the giraffes. Debbie at Giraffe Manor. One of us did not enjoy feeding the giraffes. I'm like, Ben, I got the perfect shot. He gave me his food. And so they were like these little tiny pellets. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna feed it one pellet. I was like hand throwing the food into the mouth. Some lady kept like grabbing its tongue. I'm like, leave its tongue alone, lady. Dummy. And then we actually left after that. We went from that last kind of half day safari, went and had lunch, and then we went to the airport because we flew out late that night. So that's my safari. Did you see hippos flick their poop with their tails? We saw 100 hippos flick their poop with their tails. It was funny because they would walk up when we were watching them. They would walk up and everyone would use the same kind of tree or bush. And it was just like, wait, I would have not expected that, but they would all go kind of in the same spot. Apparently, rhinos will go on top of each other. Something else we learned. I know what you're wondering. What did I buy? So I bought these little things. I didn't spend a lot of money because I'm like, the safari was the money. So I bought these little, these are, excuse me, hippos. They're some kind of rock. I don't know. I thought they were cute. Easy to get home. Rhino, elephant. And then I got my little Janome hippo that's red and black, like the writing on Janome. It sits on my machine. So I got that. When you fly business class on Qatar, they give you these like gift boxes. So this is Diptyque. It is an Italian like face and hand cream and stuff. So this was our little gift diptyque gift bag, which has eau de toilette. It smells really good. It has lip balm, face cream, and body lotion. And then it also had socks, earplugs. It all smells so good. Earplugs, and then it had an eye mask. And let me tell you, it was so worth it to fly business class. Like I said, we splurged. That's where we spent our money. And it was 100% worth it for that 16-hour flight to be able to lay down and relax. The 6-hour flights, this was our little gift, which is socks and an eye mask and earplugs. None of the hand stuff. They went cheap. And then let's see. Glad I wasn't dinner for some lions. I am also glad I wasn't dinner for some lions or hyenas. We did hear hyenas one night. I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was a crazy sound. It sounded like it was right outside the window. That was the night I started to get sick. And so this is, I only got 4 meters. They don't do yards. So this is my African fabric I bought. So this is the first one. They're all very striking. Like, I don't like, this looks like it's pieced. I could just stitch the ditch and pretend it's pieced. I like this yellow because it's going to go with the other two. But if you can hear, I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like, it's almost like it's waxed, like not batik. It's almost like an umbrella. But she's like, oh, once you wash it, she took a piece and she did this to kind of work that stuff out. Oh my gosh, it is so silky soft. That's crazy how like you can totally just do that and feel the difference. So I'm going to throw all these in the wash, and I don't know what I'm going to make. We'll see. This is another one I got. I was on a time constraint. I didn't get a lot of time to shop. And then this is my last one. So I only got 4. I was trying not to spend a lot. I didn't have a lot of extra room. I definitely overpacked for safari. But I did look good. And then my friend Debbie was making socks. And I'm like, I can make socks. I want to make socks. So now I'm a knitter. And I'm knitting socks. What is the cost fabric per yard? It was less than $10. I think it was like $8. 32. And I feel like I spent less than 30. Hold on. Like 32. I think 4,200 divided by 4. I think it was about $6.50, $7 a meter. I honestly don't remember. I was just like, cut it. I got to get out of here. And then at one point I'm like, just give me the bolts. I'll fold it. You keep cutting. I'm late. I hate being late, and I was the last one back to the car. Do not wash if it's African fabric. Wait, what? It looks like basin. What's that? If you are wanting to go on a safari and you have questions, kenyasafari.us. I linked them at the beginning of the stream. Ravi's fantastic. He will answer all your questions. It was funny because he was like, guys, I'm not going tonight. I have emails to get back to. Um, he was absolutely great. He did tell me, because I was asking like, oh, what if like there were two people that wanted to come, would they be in a Jeep with four other people? And he's like, no, he never he never mixes groups together. It's always like you go with your own group. um it was more, I think it's more fun than if Ben and I went by ourselves. Going with people, I thought it was more fun because you have other people to interact with and stuff. Like I said, I did a lot of the spotting, so I was standing up a lot of the time, binoculars out, so Ben was able to chat in the Jeep with everybody. Or randomly, really good cell service. And you would see cell towers in the middle of the Masai Mara, which I was, we were laughing. Robbie was telling us that they put one up and they put fake leaves around it to make it look like a tree, but the elephants kept knocking it down because the elephants kept knocking it down because they were mad because they would try to eat the leaves. So how do you clean it if you're not supposed to wash it, Nancy? I'm learning about the fabric I got. The woman who sold it to me told me to wash it. It does feel real good wherever I was crunching it up. But yeah, I would definitely recommend a safari. It was fantastic. Go through, so things that we learned. Not everyone, it's almost like when you get work done here, like not everybody's bonded. We were hearing some stories about like people who would get there and their drivers weren't there, and or they would have drivers who weren't really licensed, because the drivers have to get licensed and do X, Y, and Z to be legally allowed to go drive and do what they're doing. And so there were stories of like that happening. We did one day we came across, like, I mean, you're in a Jeep driving over real rocky stuff. So we came across another Jeep that had a flat. So our Nancy, I would love that. Thank you. So our driver stopped and he's like, sorry guys, I'm stopping here. I'm going to go help him. We're friends. And I think like it's one of those professional things, like, okay, one day I might need help, so I'm going to help whoever I come across. And it was nice to see, because I just feel like you don't see that today anyway, anywhere. And the guy ended up getting 2 flats that day, so we stopped and I didn't help him, but our driver got out and helped him. That's the other thing. The drivers wouldn't let us out. They said, like, Ben takes a diuretic, so he had to go pee really bad. And we sat, oh, do I have a picture of the cubs? Day 2, we saw a lioness with her cubs, and she was asleep, being a real good mother. And there were 2 cubs like hanging out in this tree. And then a bunch of cars came because we were the only ones there for a hot minute. And then a bunch of Jeeps came, and then the cubs went and hid. Beautiful sunsets. That's from our camp. But the cubs went and hid. And then we sat there for 2 hours waiting to see if the cubs would come back out. They didn't. Like, oh my God, they're so hidden. They're going to hide, and there's mom that stayed asleep the whole 2 hours we were there. Well, Ben had to go to the bathroom really, really bad, like hour 1. So when we left, he said, what did he say? He goes, Albert, if you get to a spot where I could use the bathroom, I would really enjoy that. And Albert goes, oh, we can't stop here. The grass is too tall. So he's really careful. And that was one of the things I said. I can tell people that I peed in the Masai Mara because I did twice. Um, but it was, there's two Jeeps, so they would radio each other like bathroom break, don't come up here because you're peeing behind the Jeep. You're not going off into the grass. And later he tells us, oh yeah, you can't go into the grass because there's black mambas, there's cobras, and there's pythons. Ben hates snakes. And Ben's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to have to pee ever again in my life. It just made it really funny. He goes, I don't care who sees me. I'm not getting bit by a snake. But it was fantastic. I really had a great time. Like I said, thank you all for like going on the journey with me and putting up with lots of pictures. I mean, I took 600 pictures. I'm gonna throw it into a little like a 3-minute clippy. iMovie will do it for me, but I didn't like the way that they put them through. But it was truly a trip of a lifetime. Now I just need to figure out where we're going next. I told Ben, plan our 2025 trip. He really wants to go to Antarctica, but he also gets seasick, so I don't know how that's going to happen. When did I buy these? Oh, I got this at Trish. Oh my gosh. Now I've talked for 2 hours. I am back now. Tomorrow I might turn on sewing machines. I'm going to. I have to quilt the safari quilt still on the long arm. I have to free motion my jaguar or my leopard and then finish it so I can quilt this baby quilt I was trying to get done before I left. I really like this quilt. I think this might become a pattern. I was playing with it on the airport or on the airplane. I thought I was like, I'm going to do work on the airline, blah, blah, blah. No, I slept. What did the women do? They also went behind the tires of the Jeep. If we were close enough, that was the one thing. If we were close enough, they would find a bathroom. There were certain places we could go, but you just aren't always close enough. So it made for, I don't know, it was fun. None of them complained. Everybody at some point had stomach issues except for one person. And it was like past the Imodium, past the fiber pills. I had the fiber pills. We forgot Imodium. So luckily there was a lot. But crazy. All right, I gotta go. We're going to a concert tonight. We have a concert on Friday. Things go crazy. Monday, I start my new job with Laura Starr. I'm so excited. If you didn't know that I was doing that, now you know. If you have any, I will post and again, I'm gonna forget, but Charlie, I think it was because of water. I feel like they gave you a bottle of water to brush your teeth with, and I think one night I stuck my tooth under I stuck my toothbrush under the water faucet. Just it's second nature. Brush my teeth. I think that's when I got sick. So, but we're also eating a lot of stuff. We're eating a lot of stuff we're not used to and things like that. Different diet. So it wrecked my stomach. My stomach is used to Taco Bell. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Oh yeah, we're going to a concert. I'm going to go see Nicole Kidman's husband tonight. Hopefully Nicole's there. Ugh. I can never remember if it's Kenny Chesney, Mark Chestnut. Which one? But whatever. So we're doing that, and then I think on Friday we see Ricky Martin, Enrique Iglesias, and Pitbull. Keith Urban, that's the one. So we're going to see Keith Urban tonight. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Please don't unfollow me. I'll post pictures. Hopefully it's a good concert. I'm sure it is. But I also hope I see Nicole. So, all right, guys, I got to go. We will talk to you later. Thanks for joining me on my safari adventure. kenyasafari.us if you're interested. I will post them just over there at the end of this too. It is the About Us page because that's the thing I happened to copy because I was reading it. I'll throw a picture or I'll throw a post on Facebook and about it too, in case you are interested. You can always reach out to Ravi and see what it would cost to set up your own personal safari. He does them everywhere, so I don't like, every cost is going to be different depending on what you want and stuff. So, but he's a very nice guy. So thank you, Nancy. I got them. Thank you. If I just looked at my watch when it came in. So, all right. Hasta la pizza, people. We will see you on the flip side and talk to you later. Bye.